So in Kendo there's quite a lot of etiquette, a lot of bowing and being polite to one another. So the four main cuts in Kendo, if the son you want to do the cuts, are men, so straight to the head, so all the cuts in Japanese are in Japanese. So men is the head. There's also a strike to the wrist, which is kote. A strike to the side, which is do. Like that. And last one, which is a wee more advanced, so beginners tend not to do this, is ski. Which is a strike, a thrust to the throat. That's the only thrust we have in Kendo. We used to have another thrust to the chest, and we used to also have a technique where you wrap your foot around someone's leg and trip them up. But those were banned for safety reasons, health and safety. If this was a real sword, there's a sweet spot in the sword, which is sort of this, anywhere from here to here. If there was a real sword, and you cut and hit someone here, the sword gets stuck. So you can imagine you're in the middle of a fight, cut someone, and your sword gets stuck, you're going to die. Someone's going to come up behind you and chop something off. So we try and cut with the sweet spot part of the sword, just go straight through, no sticking anywhere. Blood probably goes everywhere, but at least you're still alive. So we do an exercise in Kendo called Kihon Keigo. This is quite a basic exercise. It's being reintroduced in Japan because Kendo is being made compulsory in Japanese schools again. So this is for teachers who have no idea how to do Kendo to teach Kendo, which is an interesting aspect. So I'll run through, there's 9 of them, we'll do 7 of them quite quickly, but not too quickly. So the first one teaches you distance. It's just the 4 basic cuts, one after the other, but it teaches you to get to the right distance when you cut, so that when you cut you use the sweet spot of the sword. So if you two want to do that, everyone can watch. So as you can probably hear, when they're kiai, well, when they're shouting the target. It's called kiai. I'll mention a bit more about that in a minute. For now, let them keep doing it. It's part of the exercise. The other thing Kion number 1 practices and teaches you is to keep your posture straight. So Kendo posture is really important. So if Simon, you want to come up to the front, I'll give you an example of good posture, because Simon has very good posture. Whoa, there goes my mic. If you want to go to Chuda and face this way first. Okay, so as you can see, Simon has a nice straight back, and he's leaning forward very slightly, which shows he's got quite a good intention to attack. He's ready. If I lift up, this isn't a skirt by the way, it's more like baggy trousers, but it looks like a skirt. So if I lift this up, you can see his left leg is, you guys over there can't see, but take my word for it, his left leg's very tense, his left heel's off the floor here, so that with that he's ready to attack really quickly. If you look at his eyes, let's turn this way, Simon. If you look at his eyes, he's looking dead ahead, so if I was his opponent, I was looking into his eyes, that's quite scary. You can read a lot of what a person's going to do in their eyes, so in Kendo this is quite the same. If you look at his sword, the sword is straight down the middle of his body, and it's also at my throat level here, so if we turn this way. And if I was against Simon and I tried to attack him, all I'm going to do is ping myself with his sword. And even if I go to the side, all you need to do is turn, and I can't really do anything. So that's quite an important part of Kendo, is keeping the centered line, keeping the opponent at distance. They can't just run in like this and not kill themselves. So thank you, Simon, if you want to sit back down. So